All right, we're at Token Fest with Robert Cox of XBlock, and we're in Boston at Seaport World Trade Center at Token Fest. Robert, welcome to Smarterium TV.
Thank you.
Tell us about XBlock. What is you guys?
XBlock aims to have a fog computing network. And by fog computing, a lot of people know that term, but for those who don't, it's similar to cloud computing. It's a distributed network, but instead of being up in the cloud with heavy, thick things, it's down low. It's a lighter layer. So that means that it's on its backbone, instead of being servers and data centers, it is desktops, laptops. It's consumer hardware, even down to smartphones and IoT devices. So we're putting all those together into a network that can be used by developers and enterprise customers to host their websites, host their apps in the same way that you would have, like with the DigitalOcean AWS.
Okay.
So we're creating a blockchain to help communicate devices together in a way that can allow them to be used by a central, by a web panel.
Okay. So are you guys live already, or what stage are you guys in?
We are in the early alpha of our product. However, we have finished our blockchain. We have finished our exchange platform. So we decided to wait about 8 months after the initial idea happened. So we wanted to have a product, something that we can something to show for our work before we actually go out and do our ICO. So we are currently in our ICO. We're shooting for 7.2, and it's going pretty well so far.
Great. So who do you envision your customers to be?
Our customers would be small-time developers. They would probably see the greatest benefit from our services. A lot of developers these days are hosting their websites. Me included. They're hosting their websites and their apps from a server in their house, a desktop, and that has a lot of limitations and a lot of dangers to it, because you don't want to have a locally hosted thing, because your power goes out, your app goes down.
Right.
And depending on the scale of it, it's that could mean a lot of money lost. So what we're offering is for small-time developers to use their local machines to work on the fog and to mine, quote unquote. It's not really mining, because you're not doing the consensus algorithms that you would with Ethereum, but it is in a sense using your computer for a project and getting paid for it. So the developer would put their computer onto the fog, get their tokens, and then spend those tokens on resources. And it would work the same way as DigitalOcean or AWS, where you log in, you spin up your virtual machine, you get your credits, and you deploy it with Ubuntu or CentOS, and then you install your programs and run like you would normally.
Okay. So is it ready? How would, let's say I'm a developer?
Yes.
Right. How would I onboard to XBlock? What's my first step?
Well, our beta will be released between Q1 and Q2 of next year for early testing, and our finalized ready product. We'll continue to work on it, but we'll have a final product by Q4.
Okay.
And so it's not quite ready for developers to use just yet, but we have a large team working on it every day.
Okay.
And it's getting closer all the time.
And where are you guys based?
We are based in Los Angeles. That's where our offices are, and the majority of our team.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm personally from Tampa. I fly, but I'm never there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And are you looking to raise any kind of money, or are you guys fully funded? What stage are you guys in terms of that?
We are doing our ICO so that so the developers are pre-sale right now. So the developers can get their tokens early because there's a 40% bonus. We are looking for 7.2 from the total, but we do have funding as of right now, but it's always, it would always benefit to have more, because then we can hire more developers, work faster.
Okay. And in terms of going back to the blockchain itself, you mentioned you have built your blockchain, so it is a custom blockchain.
Yes.
You guys don't run on like Ethereum or
Yeah, we have our own custom public chain.
Yeah.
It uses a committee consensus mechanism where it's a verified random function that uses a similar concept to the white paper for Algorand, the Byzantine agreement protocol. That uses a system to verify honest users, to find them ones that have a history of correct consensus contributions.
Yeah.
And it also weighs them in our system based on how much computing power they have. Because we're focusing on IoT devices, we don't want to drop that consensus on somebody who doesn't have the power to do it quickly. So it will more likely go to large servers and large computers, but they won't. It won't be the same every time. It's random enough that there's no risk of targeted attacks, civil attacks, etc.
Okay. All right. What else can you tell us about XBlock? What do you want to tell people?
I personally, my vision here is that we can have an alternative to traditional cloud computing that without the negatives of traditional cloud computing, like geolocation. I mean, I know Amazon is very redundant. They're very, very safe.
Oh, yeah.
But there's still, they only have like three data centers on the East Coast, and there's a giant hurricane heading towards them right now. So there is that possibility, that 0.01%. So with a fully fleshed out worldwide network, then if that goes down, then there's probably bigger things to worry about.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, I really do think that this has the chance to be a real benefit to developers, companies that have their own servers, and I really think it's a great idea.
All right, great. Well, thanks for talking with us. That was Robert Cox with XBlock, and we're live at TokenFest. And this is Mahesh Sashital signing out.